See, these parts, since they were so free, so open, all I had to worry about was the cones. It was a lot easier to just get by them. Like, okay, take advantage of picking up momentum and getting as far as I can um, before the slowdowns again. Of course, I was also maintaining the speed or below the speed, so it's nice to know what this area looked like now because all of this was hard to notice last night. Every single, like I said, you see, there's no lights out there. There are no street lights at all. So all of last night driving through this thing was just crazy. Total darkness. Driving through California. Thank you for stopping in. Current view coming out of Cahuilla, California, towards Temecula. And he just take down the whole one lane on that side. So that's why we just kept having to take turns waiting light to turn green. I'm glad I didn't take a chance because last night, since it was my first time dealing with it, I wasn't quite sure that I was supposed to stop and go or just stay until the light turned green, until a green light popped up. And sure enough, part of me was like, okay, this light is still red. It's staying red forever. I'm thinking maybe I was supposed to just stop and go. And I flashed my headlights and thinking, can I tell what this is? Is it a full on traffic light? Flashing, yeah. So I wasn't quite sure, but yes, that's true. But my brain was not remembering these details last night. As long as I've been driving for most of my life, my brain wasn't connecting that. I'm like, I'm panicking. There's no light. It's dark. It's storming. I've got all these cars piling up behind me. I already get on edge about stuff. So I'm like, oh Lord, having to do this drive. I mean, thankfully we made it safe and sound, and now we're getting out of here in the light. But and every now and then, see how that every now and then there'd be an 18-wheeler coming in the opposite direction too, and I'm like, great, now we got two big old fat trucks on opposite directions on these curves with construction everywhere in total darkness, and the only thing we're using is our headlights to be able to see what's in front of us. To some degree, the other cars coming and the opposite direction kind of helping because their headlights were helping me see a little better what I was about to deal with in the up ahead, because they were coming from a distance. I'm like, okay, I can see what I got coming. But then once they got close enough to me, their freaking headlights were just intense through my glasses, and I'm like, ah, you're blinding me, people. And they weren't even using their brights, or maybe there was a couple that were using their brights, but yeah, no. Very few people were turning down their headlights, and usually it's when they realize, like, because right now we're going downwards practically. Coming upwards, they couldn't see me coming from the bottom of the hill up. It wasn't until they got to the top point that they could see my headlights coming upwards that they would shut theirs off, their brights off, and go to regular, and then, we just pass each other up. Thankfully, those moments were like this, kind of more of an open space, and not the parts that had the columns of bricks, because the sections that had the columns of bricks, that was the one that I couldn't see. Like I said, I couldn't see on my right side, out of the passenger side, because it was so dark to tell how close I was to the brick column. I was afraid I was going to end up smacking the truck up against it. But, and I know even coming across like this, the cars coming in the opposite direction of me, some of them might even panic watching me come, because I could hear when they hit the rumble strip as they're trying to get further away from me. They're trying to scoot right, to give me my space, but I'm inside my lines. They're inside their lines. They didn't really have to move over at all. But it again, the darkness and the rain was making it difficult for both for both sides to see. So I definitely would not want to do this drive at night again, especially in stormy weather, especially in stormy weather. So yeah, that's why I said some. This is exactly why I said that. Some loads are not worth repeating. It does not pay enough for us to come back up this mountain to collect load in bad weather. I mean, when they take the load to begin with, it's not like it was all pre-planned weeks ago. So it's not like they necessarily knew how bad it was going to be. Plus, our dispatch has no clue what we're dealing with on the road. Sometimes I wish I could go live for them and be like, all right, dispatch, I need y'all to log into my camera right now, log into my account right now, so you can see what you're putting. I mean, we're putting ourselves through it because we said yes to the load because we want to get paid. But you have no clue just we put ourselves through to get these loads taken care of. You send us the details and say, hey, I've got this doing this, and that's as far as you know. And that's that. I'm like, but you're not the one out here doing this drive to know what this truck can and cannot handle. Yeah, exactly. They they don't even I mean, when they bid on the loads, they do put, no matter where we're going, they put supposedly they use the 45 mile per hour as the speed, so that way they can calculate from this. Oh, that's a nice looking house up there. Um, who lives there? Can I come visit? Looks nice. Um, yeah. So they do the 45 mile per hour on the load estimate for how long we're gonna take to arrive there from Deadhead to that location from wherever we were previously at, and how long it's gonna take us to arrive to the destination to delivery. So sometimes it works out. But when we're dealing with what we were dealing with yesterday, if we would have had to be here last night, I mean, yesterday before a certain time to pick up that load, we would have probably been late because of the bad traffic that we were sitting in that was hardly moving. I mean, I was moving 1 to 2 miles an hour on I-15, yesterday because it got so bad. And that wasn't even with the bad weather. It was getting down here, closer down here, that all of the weather started. So, oh, no, don't hide what I'm showing. There's a lot of nice views up here in California, but for the trucking side of things, it doesn't always pan out. Tractor Supply. I like the palm trees. Where are they? There they are. You can't even tell. There they go. I wish I was quicker with it for the zooming in. Now this part's all played Jane compared to what we just came out of. This is a non-city. I guess this would be like the rural area of California, since it's kind of more in the mountains. Is it mountain area or is it rural? Does it count as rural? But does rural count? I mean, does mountain areas like this where it's more actually that's pretty
They're not inner city.
okay. Got some big houses right here too. I mean, they're not giant houses, but they're bigger than most residential areas. Maybe it's just like that here in California. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's the ones that are in the mountains that be tripping me out. They're like at the very, very tops of the mountains, but they have nice houses. I need to find the contractors that build the houses here to build the houses back over there in Texas. All right, we made it to the Temecula city limits. It's about to become just regular old trafficy city spaces. All the serene is gone for the night. For the moment. Try to go back on live later on. We have something to look at, something else to look at that isn't just straight up city. Thanks for watching.